So we were talking about Charles's law in our last lecture, and uh, we completed the theoretical part, the numerical deduction of the Charles law equations and all that. Now we wanted to learn about the plotting of Charles law equation, that is the Charles law plot. And before that, I want to quickly revise this straight line plot. Alright, so we've done this before. The straight line plot was for equations relating or similar to y is equals to mx plus c, uh, y is equals to mx plus c. So this equation relating to this particular equation, we were uh, we wanted to do this plot, right? And we had found out our plot would look something like this, right? A straight line plot, and this particular thing would be our y-intercept, and this is our this portion that we see. This was our C, right? And this particular equation, uh, whatever equation it might be, in place of y there could be volume, there could be pressure, whatever it is. If it resembles of this kind, y is equals to mx plus c. And I had also told you about when c is equals to 0, the uh, line passes through the origin. The line would start from here and then it would move on here. So this is very important concept. Now we'll extrapolate this concept, or we'll apply this concept in Charles law equation. Now next, our Charles law equation is V is equals to V0 1 plus T by 173. It doesn't look at all like Y is equals to mx plus c, but we'll make it look like Y is equals to mx plus c. How? Now if you multiply this, V is equals to V0 plus T by TV0 by 273. Your C is, let me just write it down. This will be V equals to V0 plus V0 T divided by 273. Anyway, it's difficult to write actually. I don't have the bamboo tablet with me. So you see, now what we can find out is this V0 is a constant. Volume at 0 degree, it's constant, it's fixed. So this V0 resembles our C, right? Now if you take this 3 out, and I had told you that this particular M that we have in here is also a constant. So this M is a constant and this C is a constant. So V0 resembles C and M is V0 by 273. V0 is also constant, 273 is also constant. So this T resembles here X. So is equals to, we can consider the whole thing as Y is equals to C plus Mx. So we expect naturally this particular equation, this equation should also have a linear kind of graph, a straight line graph like this one, right? So let's find out if we get that straight line or not. So suppose we can't just like I can't just bring in the graph directly. I just you want to show you all how these things are done in a experimental way. So we'll first take V0. Suppose V0 is 10 liter, could be volume at 0 degree, could be anything. So I have taken it to be 10 liters. Now replacing this 10 liter in this V0, what the equation becomes is V is equals to 10 plus 1 by 200. 1 plus. So simplification of this particular equation will lead to this particular equation. So this is a linear equation. Y is equals to C plus mx. Y is your V and x is your T. Right? So now if we do the basic calculation, we have to plot V along x-axis. I said y is equals to V and x is your T and T on the x-axis. So this kind of thing we've done in maths class while plotting the graph linear equation. X and y, when x is equals to this much, you put the value of t here and then find the value of v, right? So when t is equals to 5, so the increase in temperature is 5 degree, then the volume will become 10.18. So see, the volume increase in volume is very less. For 50-degree increase in temperature, volume is increasing only 1.83 liters. So increase in volume is relatively less compared to increase in temperature. For 100-degree rise in temperature, the new volume becomes 13.66. For 50-degree rise in temperature, the new volume becomes 11.83. So this particular point, these are the points that we are going to plot in a graph. You know how to write this kind of plots, I suppose, because we've done this in linear equations previous year or maybe this year, right? So now what we will do is we'll just try to plot this points in a graph. Okay. Uh, we'll try to plot this points in a graph and see what we get. So now these were the points 5 comma, because x-axis is increase in temperature, y-axis is your volume. So x-axis we have 5, 50 and 100, 10, 18 and 10.18, 11.83, 13.66 for the three volumes that we get. And now when you plot this x and y, what we will get is a very nice straight line, very much like our previous y is equals to mx plus c graph, right? So this particular gap that you see is the v0, that is in our previous graph we've shown it to be c. In this case it's v0, right? Because v0 is equal to c uh, as according to the straight line equation, which is also called the y-intercept. Don't have to bother much about that. So we have we have found out this value experimentally, like not experimentally, arbitrarily taking v0 value and then doing the simultaneous or like taking a value, certain value, arbitrary value, and then finding the other value. So this can be a practical result of our Charles law equation. We plotted it, we found a straight line. So this particular equation is true, and we see that the Charles law equation is giving us a straight line plot, right? It's giving us a straight line plot. Okay, so this was very easy, and although I have explained it in a elaborate manner, your job is to remember the Charles law equation, right? Charles law equation, as far as your exam point of view is concerned, this Charles law equation and how the equation should look like, or how the graph should look like. The exact graph of Charles law we'll see in the next slide. Right now you have to remember this, and then how to use this equation for simple numerical problems. Alright. So in our next particular topic is our Charles law plot. So how does exactly a Charles law plot look like? So this is the exact look of a Charles law plot. Here certain labels will be there, doesn't matter. Temperature in Kelvin it's given, so T degrees Celsius or Kelvin doesn't matter. You can change the, because the graduation in Kelvin and uh, degree Celsius is the same, so it does not change the graph. So from here onwards you'll point or you'll produce the graph in a straight line. This is a straight line we have got from our Charles law equation. Then you'll extrapolate or produce. You just extend the graph so that it meets the x-axis. Although in the negative direction, it's meeting x-axis at certain point. Okay, this particular thing is called extrapolation of the graph. Right, this graph is being extrapolated, or just we are elongating the graph, dotted line. We do not have exact points here, but we have just managed to draw a straight line. So the straight line is being extended here so that it meets the x-axis. So the point at which the graph meets the x-axis is called the absolute zero temperature. Remember, x-axis resembles the temperature graph. So this particular point is called the absolute zero temperature, and that is equal to how many? That is this particular absolute zero. This temperature is not in Kelvin. Okay, this is in this graph. The temperature has to be in degree. There's a reason, Celsius. So when you draw it in your copy, don't write Kelvin, write degree Celsius. Alright. So this particular point that we see here, the value of this particular point is minus 200, and yes, you guessed it right, 73 degree Celsius. Alright. So this particular graph is our minus 273 degrees Celsius. Here you have uh, 0 degrees Celsius. This is 0. At the origin, it is 0 degrees Celsius. This particular temperature, the absolute zero temperature, it is called minus, the value is minus 273 degrees Celsius. It is called absolute zero temperature because you see the volume is in the x-axis. Here you have certain volume, in this point you have volume, and in this point you have volume, in this point too you have volume. All the points you have certain volume because there is certain value in the x-axis. But when the point meets the x-axis, the volume becomes 0. So this particular graph explains the fact that at minus 273 degrees Celsius, volume of all gases becomes 0, and that is the reason this temperature is called absolute zero temperature. Starting from this particular uh, temperature, there is one temperature scale. Like temperature scale means we have two temperature scales until now that we know, say degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. Now this is a third scale of temperature, which is called absolute zero scale of temperature, which we will learn in our next particular lecture. So I want you all to absorb this idea very well, fairly well, repeat it twice or thrice, and then we'll come back in the next lecture. We'll learn about absolute zero scale of temperature and absolute zero. What does it mean? What does volume really become zero? Is it possible for volume to become zero? We'll discuss all those aspects. At the same time, we'll try to solve some of the numericals relating to Charles's law. Alright, so we'll meet up in the